The sound of silence, the boy who couldn't speak, but taught the world how to love. A true heart-touching story that broke the internet. The silent beginning. He was born in silence. Noah came into the world without a cry. The doctors said his vocal cords were damaged. He would never be able to speak. His mother, too young and too frightened, ran away just a few weeks after he was born. His father, a man who found comfort only in bottles, left him in the care of an old woman, his grandmother. They lived in a tiny wooden house on the edge of the village, surrounded by whispers and pity. Every time Noah tried to play with the other kids, they would laugh and shout, "Don't play with him, he's the mute boy." Noah would freeze, his small fists trembling. Then he'd run back to his grandmother, hide his face in her lap, and cry without a sound. She would stroke his hair gently and whisper, "My dear child, you may not speak, but your heart can still sing." Those words were his only comfort. But life, cruel as it was, took her too. One freezing night, she caught pneumonia. There was no money for medicine. Noah sat beside her as she coughed, gasping for air. Her hand found his, trembling. "Promise me, Noah. If someone kind ever comes, let them love you. Don't be afraid." She smiled one last time. And then, the only person who ever called him my child was gone. Noah buried her himself, a small mound of earth and a handful of wildflowers. After that, he had no home. No family. No one. The street boy. 4 months, Noah lived on the streets. He slept under benches, under bridges, beside trash bins. He collected plastic bottles to survive, a silent shadow among the noise of the city. People passed him every day, yet no one saw him. Until one morning, a woman named Emma sat on the same park bench where Noah slept. She noticed his small frame, his pale lips, and the way he stared at a mother feeding her baby nearby. Something inside her broke. When she handed him a sandwich, he didn't snatch it like a beggar would. Instead, he bowed slightly, a gesture so gentle, so full of gratitude that Emma felt tears rise in her eyes. He pointed to his throat, shook his head. Mute. Emma's heart ached. That night, she told her husband, James, about the boy. "He can't speak," she said softly, "but his eyes, they speak everything. You know, James, we've prayed for a child for 10 years. Maybe God sent us this one." James was quiet for a long time. Then he nodded. "Let's find him." When they found Noah again, he was sitting on the pavement, drawing with a piece of charcoal. He had drawn a woman holding a child's hand. Below it, in crooked letters, was one word, Mom. Emma knelt beside him, her voice trembling. "Would you like to come home with me?" Noah looked up, unsure if he understood. She reached out her hand, waiting. After a long silence, he took it. That day, he entered a new world, one filled with warm light and laughter. The first night, Noah didn't sleep. He just lay there, staring at the ceiling, afraid that it was all a dream. But when morning came and Emma smiled at him with breakfast ready, he realized this was real. From that day, he called her Mom, not with words, but with the way he hugged her after every meal, or how he ran to her when she came home. Love became his language. The sound of love. Noah learned fast. He studied sign language, wrote simple sentences, and even drew pictures to communicate. Emma and James attended every class with him. The three of them became a small universe, quiet, yet full of meaning. On his birthday, Emma gave him a sketchbook and said, "You don't need a voice to be heard, Noah. The world will listen through your art." And she was right. Noah's drawings were extraordinary, soft, emotional, full of life. He drew the warmth of home, the tenderness of a mother's hug, the way love could glow even in silence. At school, kids who once mocked him began to admire him. He was still the mute boy, but now they said it with respect. When silence turned into pain. Then, life struck again. Emma collapsed one evening while preparing dinner. At the hospital, doctors confirmed the unthinkable, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Noah's world shattered. He sat beside her bed every day, holding her hand, trying to smile. He wanted to tell her, "Don't leave me, Mom," but his lips could only tremble. Emma, pale and weak, lifted her hand to his cheek. "You don't have to speak, my son. I can hear your heart." Those were her last words. When she died, Noah didn't scream. He didn't move. He just stared at her face for hours, as if by watching her long enough, he could bring her back. Later that night, he placed one of his drawings in her coffin, a picture of a mother and a child, surrounded by light. Below, he wrote, "I love you," in the language only our hearts can understand. James wept as he hugged Noah, whispering, "You still have me, son. Always." But Noah's world fell silent again. The rise. Years passed. Noah grew into a tall, gentle young man. He never spoke a single word, but his art began to speak for millions. He enrolled in an art academy, working day and night. He poured every memory, every ounce of love and pain, into his paintings. One day, he submitted his work to an international exhibition. His piece was titled "The Sound of Silence." It depicted a mother touching her child's heart, as waves of golden light spread around them, symbolizing the soundless connection between souls that love each other beyond words. The painting went viral. Thousands wept upon seeing it. Comments flooded in, "I can feel the emotion even without sound. This painting speaks louder than words." The speech that needed no words. At the award ceremony, Noah stood on stage. The crowd of journalists and artists waited for his acceptance speech. He held the microphone, but said nothing. Instead, he raised a tablet, where a few words appeared, written by his trembling hands. "I was born without a voice. The world laughed at me. But one woman saw me, and loved me like her own. She gave me the voice I never had. She taught me that love doesn't need sound. It only needs a heart that listens." Silence filled the hall. Then, one by one, people began to stand, clapping through their tears. Many couldn't stop crying. Down in the front row, James, his adoptive father, covered his face. Through his tears, he whispered, "She would be so proud of you, son." The final goodbye. After the ceremony, Noah drove back to the small cemetery where Emma rested. He knelt before her grave, the golden trophy in his hands. He placed it gently beside the tombstone, then took out a new sketch. It was simple, two hands holding each other, forever connected. Underneath, he wrote, "Mom, I still can't speak, but I've learned to talk with my heart." You taught me that silence can heal, and love can speak even when words can't. A soft breeze passed. The flowers on her grave swayed gently. For a moment, Noah thought he heard her voice again, not with his ears, but deep within his chest. I hear you, my son. And for the first time in years, Noah smiled, a peaceful smile through his tears. The sound of silence. Today, Noah runs an art foundation for orphaned and disabled children. He teaches them that every heart has a language, and that silence, too, can be beautiful. In every classroom wall, one sentence is written in big letters: you don't need a voice to change the world. You just need love strong enough to be heard. A boy born mute. Abandoned, rejected, and voiceless. Until one woman without children found him, and taught him the language of love. What happened next? Made millions cry. There are voices that speak louder than sound, the voices of love, sacrifice, and kindness. Never underestimate the power of a heart that listens.